Hello again, welcome back to Football Spy, where the battle for Roque Santa Cruz has begun. Manchester City had been the only club in for him so far, but considering they were willing to splash out around about £100 million for Kaka, they were being a bit tight by not just paying the £25 million petty cash by comparison that Blackburn wanted for him. Now Spurs have decided to take on the men from Manchester. They'd been in for Robbie Keane, but Harry has now decided he doesn't want to let Aaron Lennon go to Liverpool in part exchange. The Manchester Evening News, which was published this morning, says that City will today make a final take it or leave it offer to Blackburn for the Paraguayan striker. So it was actually in a tug of war. To be fair, you'd back City to win if they pull their finger out, but the only problem is at Spurs, he'd go there and play every week alongside Jermaine Defoe. Where would Santa Cruz play in the City side? I've given them some stick in recent weeks because of their buying policy, but the side that beat Newcastle last night did look good. I like De Jong very much in midfield, so you tell me, City fans, where would he play? Who would you drop? Now, two stories about Sol Campbell for you. In the Star, he wants Portsmouth to sign at least two more players to keep the club competitive. But Campbell's own future's up in the air in the Mail. He says he's had no indication yet from Pompey whether or not they want to keep him. Before we get to your messages as well, this story has caught my eye. Ambitious QPR in the Championship have moved for the out-of-favour Man City midfielder Michael Johnson. He's always been a quality player, but the word is that perhaps he's enjoying life a bit too much in Manchester because he's been offered to several Premier League clubs who have all turned down the chance to sign him. Now, time for your messages. And on the Daily Mirror channel, Abuba wants to know if Arsene Wenger at Arsenal is going to buy before the window closes. He was asked that by Sky TV last night, and he said no, because there are so many players coming back from injury. But my view is that Arsenal are fifth, 5 points behind Villa in fourth. And if Villa buy wisely, there's no guarantee that the Gunners will catch them. Me personally, I still think Arsenal need a tough centre-half and a defensive midfielder. De Jong, like I say, who made his debut for City last night, would have been ideal. On YouTube, best wishes to John McEnroe. He's a regular viewer, but he's been in a hospital. Hope you're well. He wants news on Sunderland. Well, you were looking at West Ham's James Collins in defence, but now looks like you're going to go for Callum Davenport from Upton Park instead. Also, I assume you know by now that Kenwyne Jones has signed a new 4.5-year deal. Another friend of the show, DJ Shields, is back and still wants to go for that drink with me. Remember, it's just orange juice, no alcohol. Hope I've answered your Arsenal question already. On the Football Spy blogs page, Jimbo wants news on Reading's Stephen Hunt. We still think he's on his way to Wigan. Eric wants to know who is favourite to sign Veloso from Sporting. Well, it's not Bolton, I can tell you that. I saw somewhere that Gary Megson, the Bolton boss, was telling Sporting that Wanderers wouldn't be held to ransom over the player. I kind of think it should be Bolton biting Sporting's hand off and not the other way around. He's a good player. Liverpool kid doesn't want the Reds to sign Jamie O'Hara from Spurs as, in his words, I know someone with the same name and I hate him. Very bizarre. Sticking with Spurs, Tony Scher says Harry would be dumb to get rid of Lennon. That would leave Spurs with no pace up front, he says. Bentley may deliver the ball well, but he's not got the pace to go past people. All good points, and I agree. I didn't think Lennon was all that last year, but he's only young, and I think I judge him perhaps too harshly. He's got more end product now. Harry says Redknapp would have to be crazy to give Modric to Inter Milan in exchange for a washed-up defender like Marco Materazzi. Well, you say that, but Spurs do need defensive reinforcements. You're okay going forward at home, but away when the going gets tough, you're very, very lightweight. Jane's not happy with me because I didn't read out her message earlier this week, so I'm going to do hers now. She says here, I'd just like to say to all of you that Eric Cantona was great. I think he was really good, but not as great as some people might believe. A bit confused there. It leads me, though, onto the debate about the greatest Premier League striker ever. Lots and lots of you had your say with some of you. I have to say, letting your hearts rule your heads. Raineth has gone for Thierry Henry, along with the former Shizners, Southern Fable and a couple of others. But Henry often went missing in games. He scored great goals, but he wasn't a great goal scorer. And Mohammed disagrees with me about Shearer being the best. He says here, following your logic, Shearer shouldn't even be considered, evidenced by his paltry league title with Blackburn, the desperate Man City of their day. Ian Wright was a more clinical finisher than Cole, and he'd been in a more attack-minded team than George Graham's Arsenal, such as Kevin Keegan's Newcastle, he would have had a better goal tally. Also, Wright had a much shorter Premier League career than Shearer and Cole. All very good, but I'm going to sum this debate up in one sentence. Shearer has scored the most goals in the Premier League ever, which is why he's the best. Now, back to the papers. And Blackburn are keen on the Bosnian striker Edin Dzeko, and they're set to bid £6 million for the Wolfsburg star. That's in the Mirror. Chelsea are about to sign the AC Milan keeper Marco Storari after Carlo Cudicini left for Spurs. That's in the Mail. And Newcastle keeper Shay Given will join Man City today in a deal thought to be worth £8.5 million. That's in the Sun. One other story during the rounds today is in the German Daily Bild. They say that Chelsea and Man City are fighting over Bayern Munich's Frank Ribery. Given that Bayern Supremo Franz Beckenbauer came out the other day and said that their top man is not for sale at any price, I'd advise them to save their money and their energy. Chris is in the Football Spy office doing both of those things. He'll update you on the breaking news today. And a quick warning that on Monday there'll be 4 editions of Football Spy to mark Transfer Deadline Day, which finished at 5 o'clock because of the end of January falls this weekend. I'm off to show Rafa Benitez some videos of Robbie Keane scoring goals, and I'll see you next time.